People have mud flood conspiracies. People have like a ton of stuff.
Well, before we get into the mud flood and stuff like that, and talk
What is a
terror
mud
stuff,
flood?
A mud flood is like the theory that a lot of these buildings were here and that a catastrophe happened that caused volcanic activity, that caused many things, but I think primarily like the liquefaction of the ground, which turns the actual soil into almost like a quicksand-ish.
Okay.
And has sunken buildings down.
Sure. And
has changed landscape and destroyed some. And you could see this in a lot of old structures, even probably in your town, where there's like the buildings, it's sloping down, but you still see the windows that look like they're at the ground level, but it looks like they go down deeper. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
If you walk around New York City, you see a lot of those things. It looks like the buildings are going into the ground further down.
Sure.
That's like what they think is like a mud flood-esque building.
So I forget how many civilizations they think there was, but I think they're starting to think there was like multiple civilizations before us.
That's what I think.
Well, yeah.
Like 3 or 4, which even still.
But what do you mean in like a civilization?
Like a whole Earth, the whole nine.
Like a reset.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. Well,
we fuck up
when you
climate
start looking
change, and then boom, Mother Earth hits.
You look
with
at
that fucking
1812.
reset.
A lot of shit happened in 1812. You got Napoleon's comet. You got a fucking catastrophe. You have war all around the world. So many countries liberated. Like seems to be many resets in like the recent history.
Sure.
To be honest, you look at old videos of Coney Island. You look at all these people. Orphan trains. Look into orphan trains.
What the fuck's an orphan train?
Yeah.
It seemed like back then there wasn't that many adults,
train
but
full
there
of
was a
orphans.
lot of fucking little children, and they shipped these children all around the world. You look at Australia, it's very interesting because there's supposed to be nobody over there as a penal colony, but when you look at the first structures in Australia, they're like a huge fucking church cathedral and like all this shit, and it's like, well, where's the police station? You know, you got all this shit, but you didn't build a police station, and it's a fucking penal colony. Anyway, they trucked all these kids around the world, and they drop them off, and they tell them a fake history, and they have a good life, and then that's how you erase the past.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially,
And
yeah.
you could totally, if you were in
So
power.
what are you like talking about? Like M. Night Shyamalan's The Village?
Well,
right
if
now?
you were in power and you could shield yourself from a catastrophe and retain knowledge and capitalize off of that, and there's destruction, and why not, right? Why not? You can erase the history.
I
if you
think
could.
so, but I think we've also hit a point now where we've overpopulated the Earth compared
I
to
think
any
that's a
other
lie,
time.
dude.
I think that
Well, I think you're right, George. You can
think
drive
that's a-
anywhere and still
think
see woods.
I
and
think
woods
that's a
and woods and woods.
globalistic environmental.
What, you
myth.
think that we're not overpopulated?
No.
I think we're
I do not
overpopulating
think we're
areas.
overpopulated.
Not
Well,
like we're not like going and moving into like Antarctica.
Well, we don't
where
even
we
need to
could-
go to Antarctica. There's
Yes,
so
we
much
could.
space in the country, man. This country alone, they're pushing us into cities. The power is pushing us all into cities, all living together in a big cluster.
Dude, how do you
There's
eat
enough
chocolate
space.
and cheese back and forth?
I
Actually, that's an
been
indulgence.
been pushing
That people
the
eat
M&Ms
chocolate,
into
cheese,
the
and wine.
cheese.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
George is an aristocrat.
I'm a
Yeah, strange cat.
13-year-old aristocrat. I'm about to rip out the Surge right now and start drinking that.
Lord help us.
Can we explain finding fossils of dinosaur footprints with human footprints inside them? Oh, they weren't supposed to exist at the same time, but they keep
There you
finding
go.
them.
At lynch points.
They've really found that?
Yeah, at lynch points too. At paths that have to a bunch of paths converge to get through one pass, and then they open up again. Yeah. Who knows, man? It's funny to think that you have the whole reptilian thing of underground reptilians and whatever. And if you just think that ooh, well, maybe the raptors survived a lot longer and they evolved into the reptilians, But I'm not a big evolutionist.
I'm kind of not either, because it doesn't really make any sense.
It doesn't.
For us to be some sort of monkey that evolved and the rest stayed the same.
Yeah, but they're still monkeys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like almost saying that mermaids exist because we became land walkers and these monkeys became sea things.
I'm surprised mermaids don't exist, honestly.
Well, they're saying that's a theory.
The mermaids did exist.
Monkeys went to the water and they evolved into flippers and mermaids, and they're basically
No,
mammals.
that was a fake documentary on
I know, but
Discovery
that's a
Channel.
theory.
No, but that was fake.
I know it's fake. So is your freaking flat Earth theory. It's fake.
I'm not
but-
a flat. See, everybody, they don't live it down. I state my point
Immediately discredited.
very carefully. I'm not a
I'm just
flat
saying it's a
earther.
theory.
I'm not a ball
It's
earther.
a theory.
Well, yeah.
It's not, I know it wasn't a real documentary. I'm just saying that makes
Maybe
a
they
lot of sense.
maybe they turned into dolphins, bro.
Maybe they did.
Dolphins are crazy,
What about
man.
seals?
Dolphins are crazier than seals.
Seals
are the dogs.
Dolphins are
Thank
psychotic,
you.
dude.
They're basically a dog.
They are basically a dog
Dolphins are fucking psychotic,
of
man.
the ocean.
They rape, they kill, they don't care. They're fucking vicious, man, and they're fucking smart.
Dolphins.
Oh yeah, and they talk back and forth. Remember that? You ever see that movie Altered States? About that guy who did that.
I don't watch movies.
Dude, it's like this guy who was like on this kick, like psilocybin and fucking DMT, man. Like, this is back in, I guess, the fucking 70s, 60s, whatever. Was like, oh, it's gonna unlock another portal to another world. Like, you know how like Elon Musk will put out a meme that's like, this is how we get to outer space, and it's like a pack of shrooms or some shit. That's really what they thought. And this guy was like, apparently if you do it so much, the doorway closes and it's harder to like get through. And a lot of people see the same shit. I think there's a lot of truth behind this. Either way, this guy worked for the
Dude, when
government.
I was super high when I was a young
It's
lad.
just about to get good.
I know, but I'm going to cut you off. When I was
All
super
right.
high, I created something.
Okay,
Remember
what'd you
there was
create?
Oreo Cakesters?
Uh-huh.
I put fluff on top. Legendary. So yes, that is how you figure out how to go to the moon. With drugs.
Well, anyway, this guy would take dolphins in an isolation tank and pump them up with fucking psychiatric fucking DMT and like psilocybin and hallucinogens. And then their echolocation, he used that to map out this underworld, quote unquote, of this other, this other world that the drug was able to get to you. And it was fucking mad crazy. They created a movie. It's called
So they
Altered
just-
State. Like, the girl was in there and was like
old is this movie?
jacking the dolphin off. It's
It's
80s?
weird because Jeffrey Epstein's favorite animal is a dolphin.
Maybe because they all rape.
Yes, that's probably what it is.
Dolphins are dangerous. I would suggest everybody stay away from dolphins. They're
Yes.
dangerous.
As there's people literally swimming
have
in
another beer?
pools doing tricks off their...
Yes, I'll go grab him.
Oh, you got it. Thanks.
George, touch on the Arantes Vinius map.
Is that
What is the Arantes Vinius map?
The map they found of Antarctica with no ice, mountain ranges, rivers.
Yeah, it's a map that's very accurate to
yes.
what it is now. It's iceless. It has animals and creatures drawn upon it. Yes, please. A lot of those
take a
old
Bud Light too
maps
when
are
you're there.
very strange. I suggest everybody look at old maps. If you didn't know California was an island, please check that out. That's something that would shock you, and what mainstream will tell you would never existed. But there's countless maps from the 1700s that show
somebody's
California
talking about
as
computer?
an island. Oh boy, is the Hillary Clinton coming for me? Is it Clinton coming for me?
Hope not.
Shit, I talked some
They're
shit.
coming for you.
I forgot. At least I didn't talk about the
No,
Jews.
I have Discord, and I left Discord.
Oh,
open.
I was gonna. At least I didn't talk about the Jews yet. Nobody's coming for me.
I was like, oh my god, what happened?
Let's talk
Wait,
But there's
so-
many maps.
I can't find this map. How do you spell Artis Vinius?
Arantes Vinius or the Mercator map, right? That's what it's called.
I thought it was something else, but you're probably right.
Arantes Vinius.
I'm not a good language guy.
Yeah, Arantes Venus.
There's many maps out there. I suggest you go through the Stanford archive website and look through the maps.
It makes no
It's
sense.
very, very interesting. There's many
I
collections.
believe it. I gotta brush up on my conspiracy shit.
But California is an island. That's a big one.
They had that in maps in the olden days, or
Yeah, not even that old.
yeah.
Yeah. That's where they think the Amazonian women lived. The
California.
Califis.
What, so California joined with the United States?
It's joined with the United States.
No way.
Dude, I'm just telling you what.
Is that all the fault?
You're
I'm
gonna-
just,
you're gonna
just telling you what I found on the internet.
Yeah, I
bro.
know. It's like
You see, some other weird dude did a bunch of drugs in his
this whole
basement
thing.
and built a website about this, and then I found it.
I'm just going to show you what I found, and everybody else can make a decision. I just would like the information to be out there and known, and then it's up to you to decide what you want to believe.
George, at the end of this, I will give you my email address.
Okay, I'm just an idiot talking about idiotic things. But
Who found it all on the internet, where everything on the internet is true.
I didn't say that, but it's up to you to determine
He
that.
delves deep.
I will show you.
I believe
I will
it.
give you the keywords to
Dude,
punch into DuckDuckGo.
Guys like you, and that sounds mean, but guys like you go deep. I don't have time to go deep. I would love to go deep.
Well, then that's why I'm here. Then,
But-
California is an island. There's many weird things. Start looking into fucking star forts around the world. It's very strange.
Star forts?
Yeah, there's these forts that are built. There's like 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 in New York.
That's a lot.
The Statue of Liberty's on a star fort. I think there's one on Randall's or 2 on Randall's. They're really old structures. A military guy that I knew told me it's a good shape in order to have to get rid of the blind spots or to be able to shoot on every direction. There's
Sure.
not a lot of
Yeah, it makes sense.
vantage point
Oh, yeah,
point shit. But if you look all over the world, they're all over. In every country, built exactly the same, very old structures, very strange. Some are in the Bahamas on a tip of an island that's just in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Who built these things?
That's pretty wild.
They're just strange. There's something to look at, put in your mind to remember for later. These are these strange things that are on the world that you live. But who knows what happened in the past?
Look, you know what? These that's pretty wild.
What is that?
That's the Piri Reis map. That's what it's
The
called.
Perry Reese. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, that was the name I was trying to get, but I couldn't think
Baffling. They have no idea.
of it. No, a lot of these old maps. And
1513, this map was made.
Jesus Christ.
It showed Antarctica before ice, and
Yeah.
supposedly it still had ice then.
but they say, well, you know about the switch in the dates, right? With the I's and the J's.
No.
All right, a lot of these old maps and a lot of these old things, you'll see it'll say whatever 19 or 1533, but you'll look at the 1 and the 1 will look like an I or it'll look like a J.
Okay.
There's a lot of these things, and the theory behind it is that I believe this is the right name. Anatoly Flamenco. He's a Russian mathematician, 1980s-ish, historian, some sort of fucking super genius. He wrote books bigger than my head about the chronology of history. And I'm not smart enough to read it. I'm not going to claim that I did. But it essentially states that he took the stories throughout history. I would say examples like Jesus Christ compared to all these other stories, rose on whatever and died on whatever and had a virgin birth and this and that. There's so many people in history and not even religions that are the same character. So he took a lot of these characters and applied them together and found out that it's quite possible that 1,000 years were added to our calendar. Which, getting back to the I's and the J's, where if you had a J meaning Jehovah...
Oh, so what, you think we're in 3019 instead of 2019?
No, it would be 1,000 years ahead, so we'd be in 19...
No, 30...
No, we'd be 1,000 years back in real time.
So you think we'd be in 19...
What are we in? 2019?
1919?
1919.
Mind blown.
Is it 1919?
No.
No, it's 1,000 years. Do you use a calculator? I'm too buzzed to do this.
Well, it would be 1019.
There you go.
So you think... Yeah, but... all right, so...
Now, I'm not...
So you think that we just erased... So we forgot about 1,000 years?
I don't think anything. This guy wrote a whole dissertation on it. It's a gigantic book. I encourage anybody to look at it, anybody to look it up, anybody to watch any YouTube videos on it. I didn't read it. I just know what I've seen and what I've read, and it's a little tidbit of information.
The one thing
it's
I
a
could-
juicy little nugget.
So the one thing I can think
nugget.
about these star forts
Mm-hmm.
is I think that a lot of these, people just realize that it's a really good defense strategy, right?
Yeah, but now we're talking about worldwide civilizations. These are all over the world, dude.
Sure. Yeah. You
Yeah.
get one guy that sits on a boat for 2 months and then makes it over to Europe and takes a horse to India over the course of several months and stuff like that.
One guy can't be responsible for all these star forts.
Dude, all you gotta do is tell people the idea. Hey, bro, it looks like a Jewish star with all the points, and that's it. Done. Honestly. And on top of that, if you really think about it, circles are probably a bitch to make, so...
That's a star fort.
What is it?
It's
It's
like a
this.
structure. We could theorize about it all day.
It's literally just forts.
I've
But
seen
like,
those. All
but
right.
if you think about it, right? I was just looking at one of these things. Which one was I looking at? Was it So this one, right? So let's say somebody's attacking you here. Well, shit, you can't attack them because you can only get one cannon off there, and maybe the cannons can't move all that much.
Oh, yeah.
So theoretically, like, just like
Oh yeah.
as far as the intelligence side goes, like having two other alternating points that could launch things in that direction, like.
No, that makes complete sense, and that's what
So-
that's what my military friend told me, and he said because the cannons couldn't swivel at that point, and they needed to hit all stations, and it makes a ton of sense. But my thing is, they're all over the world, and the amount of resources and the amount of people that it would take to build all these around the same time of when they're invented is just unbelievable.
Sure.
There is countless. There's
Dude,
a guy.
we built pyramids, bro.
There's a
And
guy.
nobody knows how.
That's crazy to me.
That is crazy.
So why can't we make this?
I'm not saying we didn't, but
Oh.
we just don't know. I'm not saying aliens made star forts, but I'm not saying I don't know who made them. I don't know who made the pyramids either, but they're there. You know, I know. I got a.
What are the pyramids? What do you think they are? I think they're power plants.
The one. I think it's got to be a public works thing. I would
Honestly,
think.
it irritates the shit out of me that we don't go into the pyramids to take a look
Not
at
allowed.
They
it.
don't let you.
No, not even regular people, like scientists and shit like that.
Not allowed.
Like that's irritating.
the-
that they don't send people in there to go like take
the
a look.
biggest-
What about
thing-
China? Like, there's a million pyramids in
is.
China covered by vegetation.
Well, they plant the vegetation 'cause they don't
exactly
want you to
over
see
it, and they will not. They keep saying no. It's funeral mounds. They're like the biggest pyramids in the world are in China. And
Well, they found the Bosnia pyramid. They
Bosnian
found a bunch
ones,
of
yeah.
They
ones,
just
but
found new pyramids too, didn't they?
they
They
found
find
one in
them all over.
Alaska,
Oh, really?
underground supposedly in Alaska,
but
which is awesome.
when we talk about the pyramid, we talk about the Great Pyramid, and I believe that's the only pyramid that really is worth discussing in the context of
What,
Egypt.
It's there, you mean?
Well, I think that's the only pyramid that was actually made by something that we don't know, something intelligent, or even a race of man that's just more advanced than us, because all the other ones are shit. All the other ones do not look like the Great
Talking
Pyramid.
about, man, the ones in Peru are sick.
No,
The
we're talking
Aztec
about
ones?
ancient Egypt.
Oh,
Ancient Egypt. I mean, there's pyramids all over. We could talk about it, but they're all different kinds. You know?
Yeah, this is wild that China planted on top of them. They look pretty.
Yeah, they plant trees right on top of that shit. But China's got so much crazy old shit. You know? Look at the Forbidden City.
That's freaky.
Yeah. And you know what's even freakier about that? Did you know President Trump was the only foreign dignitary ever in the modern age of China to ever step foot into the Forbidden City?
what the hell's the Forbidden City?
It's exactly
Freaky,
what it
dude.
is, dude. It's a forbidden city in the middle of China.
Okay. Explain.
Like, I think it was.
You can see pictures. I got pictures of it.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain, man. It looks like China.
It looks like China, but literally, like they just got up and left.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, like literally everything as is. Like, yo, I'm out. Peace. No reason. Nobody knows.
China's got a lot of. It's very sad because China.
And it's not like that one building. It's like a whole city gone, bro. Imagine, right? Let's just say everybody in Bayport, literally
Up and left.
out, gone. Where are we going? We're on Konkoma. Nobody's to step foot back in here again. Peace.
That's kind of like
Throw whatever you got in the backpack. See you later. Done.
It's just really sad because China has a ton of the world's history. It has so much detailed record work. It has so much unbelievable stuff, and we're never going to see it because of communist China. And the Middle East has so much stuff. Syria, Iraq. Like, we're talking about the cradle of civilization, supposedly. We're talking about, oh my God, just shit we're never going to see. You know, now we had ISIS running around just smashing shit.
That's right. They
You
showed
know,
a lot of
we're
stuff,
going to
yeah.
destabilize the region, and we're going to sell a lot of these fucking artifacts off. I'm sure. You know, artifact trade and art trade is huge. Probably just shy of human trade.
I said I don't know how to drink beer. I thought that's what you're looking at.
Oh no, not at all. But all these places, they're like Smithsonian. You know, they come in and they scoop that shit up, just like over here. Smithsonian comes in and scoops the shit up, and you're never going to see about it. They hide it in some warehouse like Indiana Jones. Put it in a fucking crate, and all the giants, all the skeletons, all the fucking shit. They put it in a crate.
Let's look at least before we end this podcast. Show him that giant video on the mountain.
Oh, okay.
That is
yeah,
retarded.
There's a giant video on the mountain.
Okay, I gotta start it off. This lady.
What am I googling first?
Okay, I'll tell you exactly
It's
what to Google.
ridiculous.
This lady is from Peru. She sits apparently like across from a mountain ridge, and she's got like a P900 camera, and she just shoots this ridge because she sees a lot of weird shit. Her name's like Gladys Poe something. And let me show you what it is. And she's well known in like the Peruvian or the Mexican, like, because they're all about fucking aliens down there. They see those shits all the time. Apparently, they think it's like spirits or some shit. Oh, I can't get it in here. And she shoots this ridge. She's got this very compelling. Let me show you.
I found the video already. I'll turn it this way.
Oh yeah,
That's it.
this is the one of the two giants on top of the ridge. They have to be gigantic. These two.
Because they're
They
squatting.
do
Now
look
if-
like humans.
Now, if you play them with sound, watch when one gets up, bro. When you play it with sound, you're going to hear Spanish screaming.
Holy shit. Help if this lady didn't just...
She's losing her shit right now if you could hear the video. But
That thing
that
is
is gigantic. Now, there's another one that you should find with it looks like an Arabian Nights guy strolling down this ridge
Same
like
size.
it is nothing. Like it's a walk on the beach for this guy. Like how Bigfoots are described. You know, just effortlessly, nonchalantly. Then there's a side-by-side I think she does with her family that travel up there so she could get like a gauge of like height. Yeah.
That's
I think giants are probably. I would say if you want.
Oh, you can't even see the people.
no, they're on the rock.
The one's on the top of the rock, and he's bigger than the guy standing up. He's like the same size when the guy
Oh,
stands
yeah,
up.
there he is.
Very compelling videos. I think giants are very are probably the most interesting next to vampires. I think
Where do
these are
the-
the two paranormal things
Where
that
do those
actually
giants
could be
live,
real.
though? That's the real question. Like, when they're not on top of that. I wish you...
I mean, we just talked about-
We gotta buy that girl a drone.
We just talked
Is what we
about
need.
tunnels.
Middle Earth.
Yeah, we just talked about tunnels and like huge caverns in Turkey. Like it's quite possible he could live down there.
What about that cavern in China where it's totally carved out?
There's so many. It's
Like,
ridiculous.
How did this happen?
Why? What was the cavern in China?
It's something labyrinth, the Shao something labyrinth, where it's just these giant excavated caves where like they have no idea how the hell this happened. There's no like.
That's like what's the shit with they did the scene in Indiana Jones in fuck, it starts with a J. It's like the cliff, but it's like carved into it. Looks like the fucking do you know what I'm talking about?
Which one?
Oh my lord. It's like I'm such an idiot. There's like
Remember, we carved 5 dudes' faces into a side of
There
a
you
mountain
go.
one time.
The Longao Caves.
The Longao Caves.
Let me see. Oh word. Yeah, there's
It's
this shit
insane.
all over.
It's insane, man. It makes no sense. Like, where did this come from?
I forget. You got to see the video though, or at least play it or find it when you put this online, so people could see the other video. The guy.
I'm gonna give you
Guy
homework to go
crawling.
find all these, and then send them to me so I could give accurate links.
Okay.
You know how the caves are found? By local farmers who are pumping water out of small pools on flat grounds. They found these caves.
You talking about this cave right here?
Yep.
That's freaky. That's like perfect.
How did we make that back then? Thank you. Like, what? Come on, this is ridiculous.
I don't know, but imagine if it
All
wasn't
right,
done far along.
so it goes back to my original statement, right? Like, okay, let's say we figured out how this shit all happened. What happens now? Does anything happen from us drinking cold beer, probably somewhat warm Cokes, and ice cold Guinness?
I think maybe.
Like, how does that change our
I
lives?
think maybe it'll make people kind of take a step back from their Instagram
Bring this
stupid
closer.
lives.
Bring this closer.
I think maybe if people find out that we're not that cool, and this world is so old and been here forever, and a lot's gone on, they'll stop doing selfies and Instagram models, and maybe we'll slow down a little bit and try and find out how we really got here, what's going on.
Do you think we haven't? I don't see. I think
I
the
hope
problem,
so.
I think the problem right now of what we're having is we don't have enough computing power and stuff like that to figure out how we got here and stuff like that.
We have.
Does that make sense?
We have.
Just dig.
What are you talking about? We have D-wave computers. We got quantum computing now.
Yeah, but I just don't think that we're there yet that we could replicate how we got here.
I don't know if we can get an answer.
I don't think we have enough data to give the computer to give us an
I mean,
answer.
that's like the answer to life. Like, that's how we found the answer to life. I don't know. Probably not.
Well, they're finding.
But, like, even if we found out who made the pyramids, that's not the beginning. This is just the quest for knowledge.
They're finding nowadays with technology, being able to, like, satellite technology, zooming in and showing land masses and finding, when there's a heavy rainfall, they started finding more pyramid-shaped objects in Egypt. Although Egypt is now, because it became a war zone, you're not allowed really to dig and find things. They started, but they found, like, saturation was at the base, the top was lighter, and it was a square structure. So they're going to start finding more and more with satellites. But
yeah, with satellites and
but
different technology.
this is the fucking kick in the dick. Like, yeah, we get a little snippets of fun stuff on YouTube and the dark web and all this other stuff. Are they really fucking? If something really cool came out, would they even let us know? We don't know. That's what blows my
probably not.
fucking mind. Like, are we just in a Matrix?
Yeah, we're in.
Are we in a Truman Show? Or are we
To some degree, I believe,
Are we
yes.
still? Are we still just moving through this world, discovering our past and being actual people, not computer chips?
Well, there's the human race,
That's what scares
which we are part of, but we're not really a part of. We're just along for the ride, us. Just people of the world, we're just along for the ride. But there's people that are working, I'm sure, that have knowledge that we don't know. Hidden knowledge, stuff from the past. They know real secrets and shit. That has to be. You don't think all these families stay in power, start pushing themselves
George, I
around?
don't know, man. They basically said that, like, the octopi and certain sea creatures don't belong on this earth.
Yeah, that I agree with. That
They have
shit's
4
crazy.
hearts,
Yeah,
5
but-
lungs.
Yeah, now we're somewhere else completely.
But
What
like
do
I'm
you
saying,
mean?
what the hell's going on, man?
Well,
Octopus are delicious.
there's so but
Although
there's
I
so
hate
many.
because they're aliens.
There's so many questions.
But
It's
I'm
like-
hoping that I'll absorb some of their alien abilities.
And like George was saying earlier tonight, like pigs and
Mice are the closest to
are
humans.
the closest to human beings, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But
So are we just
it's-
lab rats
could be.
that we could borrow stuff from, like pig
Could be.
valves and whatever?
I mean, I don't know. There's so many
It's
open
scary to
questions.
think about.
You know, everything's a conspiracy. We're only told what they want us to know. It's up to us to just at least poke the bullshit out and to come to some sort of a scrambled egg version of it in our minds.
All right. So, as we wrap this thing up.
That's not nearly enough time for everything we want to get to.
Well,
Oh, you want to keep going? I'll go.
we'll do a part 2.
I'll look. We can go.
Can we
through
take
this.
a little break and do a part 2? Maybe some bonus stuff?
Nick, you want to do part 2?
What time is it? Are we late?
It's 11:15.
Oh, well, why don't we take a little break and do a part 2-ish?
All right.
Why
Is
don't
that
we
cool?
set up another part 2?
Okay, we could do that.
Yeah, so
Whatever
we
you
can-
want.
I'm in for setting up part 2.
Yeah, we'll do a little research.
Yeah.
I'm not
yeah,
doing any
you gotta
research.
catch me up to speed on all this.
I'm not doing any research.
You know what? I gotta write down some stuff next time I come here because
You come with some topics,
I told you to do some research.
but
What happened to you?
I'm in. Don't do research.
He's
I'm
got
an
a lot of
illiterate.
information stored up.
He's-
I'm an
Okay.
illiterate moron that listens to any moron say anything, and I'm just gonna regurgitate what I hear, and you can take
Your
a look at it.
regurgitation skills.
I got good regurgitation skills. You just
On
got
point.
He's made for this.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not a liar.
Sure.
I'm a very honest person. I'm gonna speak what I think.
I don't believe in
And-
anything I just said.
But I just take my word as that what I'm telling you is out there, and you can go look it up, and you can go look at it for yourself. And I personally don't. I got some opinions, but in the grand scheme of it, we're never gonna know. We're never gonna really know. We're not gonna know what happened to Jeffrey Epstein. Maybe it'll come out.
Hey, he turned into Nicolas Cage.
But
Face-Off.
I will tell you this.
Yeah.
I'm going to set a couple predictions out. Hillary Clinton's going to run in 2020. She's going to run for president. She's like Obi-Wan Kenobi. She's their only hope. She's the only one that could raise the money. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a repeat, and Trump's going to stomp her. And watch the royal family. Watch the royal family. This is what's today's date? 30? 8/29?
8/29, yeah.
Watch the royal family.
It's going to go up in a week or two. So
All right.
by the
Well,
time
there
people
you
hear
go.
this,
If it comes up and you're seeing me, watch me to the end. Shout me out. I don't got an internet presence, but you're going to look at my face and you'll be like, oh, shit.
you don't have any social media at all?
Nope. And I don't want it out.
Dude.
I got family things, and I'm not an internet personality.
You're a family man?
Well, I keep it for my family. I'm a very private guy. But
This is very private, let me tell you.
well, we're just three men talking about nonsense.
I just want
It's not
to
nonsense.
I just want to throw in here that they both of them wore Devil's Rose tattoos.
yeah,
so
it wasn't planned, by the way.
shout
Sure,
out to
this was
Devil's
totally
Rose
planned.
For, Nick
I
being
called
here.
Nick up and I said, "You got to wear your shirt tonight because they're gonna put us on video." This was totally planned, and
Planned.
I saw you walk in with your fanny pack and my shirt on. I was like, come on.
it's my look,
I have
man.
my fanny pack on
The
my
fanny
shirt, too.
pack matches the shirt.
It does. It's perfect.
It's perfect.
It's perfect.
It is. Oh my god.
It's perfect. It carries all my things. It's
I think
perfect.
for part 2 or part 3 and part 4, we should start to really just pick one subject to work on for first.
All right, we'll pick a
Like
subject.
the moon
Yeah.
being
I don't
fake.
want to.
Yeah,
I don't want
I
to
like-
talk
I
about,
like where this is going.
Look up the lunar. Just to throw that out there, the lunar phase. The lunar phase. Somebody shoots the moon. These people shoot the moon with
He said it gets digital.
P1000 cameras. You could see a digital phase through the moon. Just look it up. You don't got to look it up now, but it's just out there in the ether of the internet. You can look that up. I don't want to talk about the moon. I don't like talking about the moon.
Moon scares me.
I don't like talk about outer space. People start to label me as a flat earther, and I'm not, as I
could be.
state. See, now I'm telling. I've come out with my position. See, I don't want to get around the moon. There's so many strange things.
The moon does not make sense.
But I think we should stay grounded in our reality of terrestrial Earth. And if you want to pick a subject, you want to do reptilians, you want to do giants,
no,
you want to do vampires.
I want to do how the hell did this get built? Let's talk about this whole era.
Well, I worked really
There's-
hard and I hammered a bunch of nails and screws.
That's
and dropped ceiling and built it and found a table in my basement. That's how it went. And then I worked a lot and bought some nice microphones.
Harris, I'm going to give you some homework to do.
Yeah?
And this is very simple, easy UFO alien jargon.
Fired up.
Look up Puma Punku and find out everything you can about it. Why is this place here? How did these things get made? These stones are cut with laser cut precision. Obviously, the place blew up. Everything's scattered, but these things are ridiculous. CNC'd at this day's technology.
we could just go
This
through
is
all the
pretty
theories.
wild,
We
honestly.
could go through biblical shit. We go
So
through
that I
all the
want
theories
that's why we need,
of the last civilization cast. We go through
we can make
Atlantis.
this a
We go
weekly
through
thing. It's fine.
a whole ton of things.
Yeah, we're gonna
be
do
getting.
we're gonna replicate this 2.0.
Okay,
in a
if-
week or two, probably.
All right.
That's
Well,
the goal.
It gets hard when you do past theories. I'd rather just do vampires and about adrenochrome and fucking bloodletting and ritual sacrifice.
That's part of the whole Epstein thing.
and occultist shit. Yeah,
That's the Epstein
that's
shit.
That's
the vampires.
All right.
Yeah, man.
All right, we're wrapping this thing up. You have no social media. Do you even want
No.
people to find you?
No.
Nick, do you want to shout out anything? Your company, at least?
No. Love this podcast. Love my kid. She's cool. I'm out.
I don't want anybody to know my name because next when I start talking about the Jews, I don't want anybody to know my name.
Oh, my goodness.
No, I'm just joking.
All right, everybody.
I'm just joking.
Good night.
Good
It's
night.
11:22 at night. I'll see you guys later.
That was fun.